Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of the Trucking Tower podcast with Mr. Michael Vincent. We're doing a top 10 show today. You ready for this, Michael?
I am. As you see, I brought up my Christmas jazz hands for you.
Christmas jazz hands. I love it.
Why
You've
not?
always got these amazing intros.
Yeah, they're epic. I do all my own stunts too. It's amazing.
That is incredible. Yeah. I figured you used a stunt double.
No, it's all me. It's all me.
Well, we're going to do this Christmas special today. It's got a top 10 favorite moments from this year of podcasting. It's hard to believe we did 35 episodes this year.
I know. I was going through some of the episodes and I was like, wow, that was from like last winter. I'm like, for real? Like, wow.
But, I have a lot of fun doing these sustainability shows with you, and we're working together on fuel reduction, emissions reduction, plastics waste reduction, saving companies money, helping them get more business, all kinds of fun stuff. So it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun, and I love the fact that our vision and our ethos and everything are aligned, and the mission is really to do this, but to make touching lives in a positive way and positive impact throughout the world a sustainable mission that we can do. And
Absolutely.
That's really the end goal, right?
Absolutely. Helping companies, helping the environment, and helping people. Also, we do these things with giving, and we're going to get into that here in a second. But
right on.
You were telling me and showing me you were in the Nutcracker ballet with your family, right?
That's right. It's my way of giving back to people. Right.
There you go.
Is to perform in the Nutcracker ballet. Yes. The Chattanooga dance theater does the Nooga Nutcracker every year. And it's a full-blown production. It's the Nutcracker. It's the ballet with a little twist of Chattanooga, right? So, the University of Tennessee Chattanooga UTC football team and basketball, they're the Mocks or the Mockingbirds. So instead of the little soldiers fighting the mouse queen, they're little baby mockingbirds fighting them and stuff like that, right? And the different lands have to do with the different areas of Chattanooga, right? Like the river and the mountains and so on.
Very cool. And you didn't have to wear tights, right?
They wouldn't let me.
They wouldn't let you?
No tights. My wife. So both my daughters are in it. So last year my daughter was a baby mockingbird, and then this year she moved in to be a gnome, and my other younger daughter is now a mockingbird. Last year my wife and I we were party parents. At the beginning of the Nutcracker, they come across a stage with the girls and they walk and come to the house and they do the waltz and all that kind of stuff. So we did have to dance, but like the waltz, not with toe shoes or anything. And then this year we were actually Clara's parents. So we were the main party guests, if you will. We were throwing the party that it all happens. And then my wife's mother and father our mother and stepfather were other party parents. So it was a whole family. It was grandparents, parents, and kids all in the Nutcracker.
That is so cool. I love
it's fun. It's fun. I mean, the performance weekend is rough. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 shows. So I mean, it's a few hours long. So it's a bit of a commitment, but it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and you made lasting memories with your family, and
we'll do it next year. We'll do it every year until the girls stop dancing. So I mean, my girls are actually dancing ballet. My wife and I, not so much.
Right? Yeah, I wouldn't attempt that anymore. I would break something for sure.
No. I haven't danced ballet since football. They used to make us. We used to study ballet for balance and moves and stuff like that in football. So,
well, I had to do jazzercise one summer, which was interesting on a soccer team. And we were like, what are we doing here? What are we?
Yeah, see, I can see you getting into it with like spandex and all kinds of stuff, dude.
Headband.
Yeah, total. I see you as a total 80s with Olivia Newton-John doing the whole, let's get physical.
We were all so awkward. So
yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
right. But anyways,
There was nothing graceful about our football ballet classes. That's for sure.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have a very special partner, Compassion International. I'm going to actually show my screen here.
Oh, please do.
Yes. We've been involved with this organization for quite some years now. And my wife, Julie, and I, as you know, went to Ecuador to visit a young lady and her mom that we had sponsored for 11 years. Heard their story. We became like family, right? We're talking back and forth, sharing pictures. They ask, what is Christmas like where you live? We ask, how's it going with school? And so forth, right? So we did that. And then we learned about, what happens on the ground. It's absolutely incredible. And then we were really fortunate to open a facility in Ghana alongside Compassion. And we're just carrying on through. We want to do a whole lot more, but there's a giving opportunity. So if anybody's looking for a way to really impact not only the child, but the family and the community, I can vouch for Compassion International. And we don't get any money from this. It's just straight to Compassion to make impacts on the ground. You can sponsor a child. You can do back and forth letters. And literally, it's more of a blessing to you. It's the craziest thing, right?
No, and I can vouch for that, man. I mean, when you start getting into this, that is 100% truth. It is such a blessing, and it comes back to you tenfold.
It does. Absolutely. So we've been super blessed by that whole relationship across quite a few years. And, so that's you can click and sponsor a child or click and donate a one-time gift. And it's unbelievable. I'll just give you an example. One year we decided to do a Christmas gift for this family. They opened a convenience store with it. Now, We're not talking about a 7-Eleven size convenience store. We're talking about a small store with gum and milk and so forth, but literally impacted the whole community. I couldn't rent 1/8 of a 7-Eleven for what this was, right? But they could, and they could use it to make a living and help the community at the same time. That is the kind of thing your money can literally change a family. I mean, it's incredible. So anyway, that's what we're doing.
It really is, and we gave, and, you could build an entire house for a family. I mean, for like $5,000.
Right.
And it's theirs. It's, it's amazing how far your money goes, and the impact is unbelievable.
It truly is.
I was talking to a good friend of both of ours this morning, Railroad Sensei, Brian Schnedler.
Yes.
And we were just talking about how there's somebody out there praying for you to keep moving forward an inch every day and be that blessing to them. And there it is. I mean, this is how it works. So
absolutely. It's incredible to see the impacts. We saw the child development centers, the homes, talk to the people on the ground. It was just really impactful. I mean, very, very impactful to see it firsthand like that. And so we're just trying to carry on. We have a goal of helping thousands and then millions of people. And I truly think we can do it. And
amen.
That's where we're headed. That's where we're headed.
We will do it. No doubt about it. No doubt.
Absolutely.
That's how you and I got together was trying to fund that.
We did. Yeah. You and I did a couple of things together in years, probably 2 years ago or so.
Yeah. It was trying to do it through OPT to get the machines and stuff like that, because that's what's going on there is OPT, our branch in South Africa puts people in business.
Right.
That's what the machines do. You support one of these machines. The machine goes out there and we create zero money down entrepreneurs who then each machine out there is making between 50 and 100 jobs, because now you've got people that are collecting plastics and coming in and earning money to feed their families with that money.
Right.
Right. And it builds these communities and teaches the future, stewards of our planet, as we've been taught as we are the stewards. It teaches them how to do it the right thing, and it turns waste into business, which is what we got to think about, right? For circularity. So
absolutely, I love it all. That's unbelievable impact on the community, on the families, on waste. It's just impactful all the way around. So, Michael, you and I put together this top 10 moments from the year. on
Yeah.
our
Okay.
podcast.
So I picked number one, and I think you agreed with me with number one is, but the rest of them I think you selected in the order, or maybe you threw them up in the air. They're all my favorites. I couldn't pick. That's why I just
I
said
know I had the really, really hard time with this.
and we didn't have time to get an accountant or anybody to count votes or anything like that.
Right, exactly. No, all of them were, could have been number one or number two, whatever. But yeah, we picked 10 out of 35 shows, and we're going to start with this one right here. So again, I need to share my screen. Let me get the
Make
right
it happen, dude. Share with the people.
in place.
We're all about sharing.
Yes, we are. Let me get the right screen at the right spot and full screen it.
We need a producer.
I need a producer.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Number 10. And oil does not come from dinosaurs. What do you think about when you think about fossils?
Dinosaurs,
Right?
of course.
Who doesn't think that's a dinosaur? No, you're not pumping Velociraptor juice into your Volvo. That oil and that gas, which I'm just going to show a picture up here, that oil and that gas is actually from trillions of algae and plankton.
So that's been a scam that's been perpetuated on me since birth. In the movie Cars, didn't lightning drive for like Dino Fuel or whatever?
Dino fuel, that's right. That was number 10.
I'm telling you, that's I'm duped. I've been duped.
I have too, man. All the way through elementary school. In fact, you drive down the road and the gas station, I think it's Sinclair, has a dinosaur in the front. So I feel like I've been scammed my whole life about that particular topic right there.
Absolutely. We need an investigation.
We do. Absolutely. We absolutely do. We're going to start a commission of our own.
I bet there's a lot of people going, what? It's not dinosaurs?
I bet there's a lot of people saying that. What in the world are you talking about?
Yeah, no, wasn't dinosaurs. Not dinosaurs. There might be one or two that floated and fell to the bottom of the old seas and oceans that became it, but that's where it came from. It's not from the land fossils.
Oh man, I honestly didn't know until we did that show. I really did not even know that was true.
I think it's further evidence that the Middle East was an ocean at one time.
Yeah, I bet you.
Right.
Good money bet on that one right there. Absolutely. All right, so number 9. You ready for number 9?
I am ready, baby.
Here we go. So I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question, Michael.
All right, lay it on me.
If I sent a spy balloon across your property to collect images and perhaps backdoor some data, troll around, would it make you more or less comfortable doing business together?
It depends on how you reacted to the information that you gathered.
Right. So, it's not the act of taking data and pictures. It's what would you do with that?
Well, I was trying to be politically correct about, it depends on what you actually saw me doing and if you could forgive me for that.
Right, exactly.
The knowledge that you gain might be much more valuable than, actually doing business with me. You never know.
Yes, maybe like blackmail.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I could maybe leverage you for some things.
Yeah, you definitely have the upper hand in negotiations after that happens.
Oh man. Well, we have a privacy fence in the back, and I'm thankful that we don't have drones flying around everywhere because I would not want anybody to see that.
No. I'm not sure they would.
Right. It would probably fall out of the sky for one.
What is that?
Oh,
unbelievable. That is
well,
funny.
that was a fun show.
Yeah. Well,
all
yeah.
remember the Chinese spy balloons that were in the news, and man, that was in the news for weeks and weeks on end. And what they were doing, why they were doing it, I never really feel like I got the full story on that, but they were definitely doing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole thing was, I mean, I think we discussed in that it didn't matter because both sides of the argument actually won out of that, right?
Right.
One said they blew it up and they figured it out, and the other said no, we didn't do it, and accused the West. You know, so I mean, both won in their own little regions with their political spin on whatever it was that occurred.
They both spun it for their own people, and they were like, okay, that's all right.
What I never understood is, you know, a country that puts, you know, literally thousands of satellites in the air and can spy on everybody, just like we can, would trust their, you know, data gathering intelligence to a balloon that's just kind of floating on the jet stream, you know, getting random stuff. It's not like you can't control that balloon and make sure it hits a specific place, right? It's a balloon.
That is very interesting, no doubt about it. I don't know. There's more to that story. There is more.
Yeah,
to that
yeah,
story.
there's absolutely.
Oh, there's. All right, so you ready for the next one?
I am.
Here we go.
We're not turning off the valve of fossil-based fuels tomorrow. It's not.
No, petrochemicals are used in everything. We've talked about this. Jackets, cell phones, car bumpers. I mean, just the petrochemicals industry, if it were to go away, would be, you talk about a disruption. It would be a total disruption of supply chains everywhere. So
yeah, no, it certainly would. It turned the earth into one big naked and afraid show. I'm doing great, man. I'm all hyped up. I just I went for a run, took a shower, and got all cleaned up. I even used deodorant for you folks today. So if you smell something, it ain't me.
It's stench free.
It's stench free. Exactly. Very good. Very good.
So you know that you have the Noble Logistics stench free zone.
That yes, that's true.
So
that's true.
I had to bring it into a show, man. I had to bring it in somehow, some way.
Well, you know, it's kind of a big thing here in Tennessee when you do actually bathe. So I had to announce it to everybody.
Oh yeah, I do it at least twice a year.
Whether you need it or not, right?
Whether I need it or not, I highly recommend it. Oh man, did your mom ever ask you clean behind your ears?
Oh, of course, yes. Yeah.
I always wondered what is back there. You know, I can't see it. I don't know what's back there.
Yeah, that was the point. Is you clean where you can't even see, right?
Right.
But you're right. As a kid, you're like, "What is? I don't know. Why are the back of my ears particularly do?"
I don't see anything. I don't feel anything. There's nothing on. I took a tissue out. I'm like, I don't get it. Why wash behind my ears is like so important.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, when I was a kid, it was pretty important. I mean, we played a lot in the swamps and forests and stuff all summer and winter, actually. So we got pretty dirty. We got pretty dirty.
We did too. We were always outside playing. Always.
Yeah, absolutely. Free range parenting.
That's right. Absolutely.
Doesn't go anymore.
You ready for the next one?
I am always ready, man. Lay it on me.
Here we go. But it starts with the Neanderthals. Like, I want to,
which is crazy, right? I looked up. I just said, you know, how long have we been sailing? Because I don't know. Do you know off the top of your head how long people have been sailing? No. First thing that comes up is phys.org that says, hey, these guys have been, you know, Neanderthals. There's evidence that Neanderthals were sailing 50,000 years before modern man built the first boat.
Who would have thought? Right?
That's crazy, isn't it?
It is. I had no idea. And then we talked about on that show, there's modern maritime vessels that are starting to use sails.
Yeah, exactly. It was I mean, we full circle, right? Hey, we got a new technology, sails. Well,
right.
Okay. Except Neanderthals did it like 52,000 years ago or something like that.
It's not new.
Yeah, this is not a new technology, folks.
Oh man,
But some of those sails are really cool and they're not what you expect they are. So, I mean, checking those things out are really neat. Some of them are that, and I forget what the physics uh, 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 property is or law is that it utilizes, but they spin in the wind, which creates uplift, which lessens the drag on the ship, right? So it's not actually like a sail that catches wind necessarily. Now, there are some that do that. They call them wind wings or whatever they are. But there are others that do this spinning type of thing that, anyways, check them out. There's a lot of Cargill's doing this, and Maersk and a bunch of others are doing these new sailing ships. Very cool technology.
absolutely. Yeah, I watched a documentary one time about the Polynesian islands and the Hawaiian Islands and how in the world those very first explorers took that journey like hundreds of miles across the water. Like that
right in the outrigger canoes.
Yeah, in outriggers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't even the Viking ships. And when you see what the actual Viking ships look like, you're like, what, huh? I wouldn't take that across Lake Chickamauga. Even those weren't like ships. You know what I mean?
Right. I wouldn't take one of those out on Lake Eufaula where I grew up fishing. There's no way I'd go out on an ocean with one.
Yeah, those people, they had some cojones.
They were very, very brave. Much braver
Yes.
than I. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's where brave. There's a thin line between bravery and crazy.
Exactly. Oh boy. Well, that was a fun show too. So I'm going to go queue up the next one here.
Right on. Yeah.
According to Ryan Brook, who leads the University of Saskatchewan's Canadian Wild Pig Research Project. Yeah, I know you were asking me just the other day who leads that research project.
Right. Now that I'm glad you brought that into the show. Yep.
Yeah, it's Ryan Brook. Anybody who was wondering that. Quote, wild pigs are easily the worst invasive large mammal on the planet.
Who'd have thunk? Invasive super pigs. That is a scary thought.
What we were talking about is like they're in Saskatchewan and they're coming across the border into the U.S. It's like the killer bees. Remember the Africanized bees or whatever they're called coming up from Mexico? We're going to kill us all. Now we got pigs.
Right now, yeah, absolutely. And they're super pigs because they can withstand the extreme cold.
Yeah,
the extreme heat. They can root around and destroy everything. If and it's almost like there's no stopping them.
No, listen, we talked about it on the show. I had a couple pigs, small ones, like 30 pounders. You can't stop a pig. You can't.
And they're very smart.
They're very smart. They're very stubborn. They're a solid piece of muscle, and they're wrapped in about an inch thick hide. And you can't hurt them. And they just, yeah, it's not. But yeah, right. DeSoto, remember DeSoto brought over the first pigs to the U.S., right?
Absolutely. Well, queuing up the next one here.
All right, let's do it.
About fighting for a relationship that knows that he needs to be fought for.
Right.
And so I was like, this is the one you keep it when it's down for life. So that actually started the record off, and it gave me the inspiration to go ahead and keep writing more. So you can see the different types.
Oh my, that was a fun show. Both of us have had Damon Day on our shows, and he is so talented as a musician. Incredible.
He really is. And you know what? There was so much in that show that could have made, there could be like 4 of the top 10 come out of that show. Right. Easily. And it was important to include him, and he could easily be number 1 just because the message of what he writes. And if you catch what he's talking about is that the inspiration to his music is love worth fighting for. And there's those relationships worth fighting for, and not giving up on your dreams and on your love for other people, etc. And that's the message. And I just think it's super strong. And Damon Day is super talented and a great guy. And I'm glad you did that because that was a reunion of sorts for he and I. So that was a fun show. That was a great show.
Absolutely. No doubt. That was a lot of fun. Here's the next one.
First of all, what in the world is a scrubber? If I told you maritime scrubber,
What would you think?
First thing that comes to my mind is just a iron mateys.
Yes, exactly.
So some wet shoes out there scrubbing a deck, right?
Scrub the deck.
On the deck. That's what I'm thinking.
Right? That's what I
Yeah.
thought before I knew exactly what this thing was.
Maritime scrubbers. Well, it's not what we thought.
No, it's not the first image that comes to your mind, because I mean that is kind of it, right? But yeah, that was all about, we can't in my opinion, that show really brought forth the idea that you can't rely on all these different technologies. There has to be a conglomeration of different solutions to solve our emissions and our destruction of the environment, our issues there is really what I took out of that one. Because the scrubbers, all they do is really keep the carbon dioxide, the CO2 from going into the atmosphere and dump it into the ocean.
Right.
That's all they're doing.
They take the dirty air, they push it down into the water, basically, and then there's been studies now on the marine life, the effects on seagrasses and marine life and so forth.
Yeah.
We'll have more shows on that as well, but I better keep on moving here.
Oh,
next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Your biodiesel may not be vegan. You think biodiesel, you think, oh, it burns cleaner, greener. No, most people think it comes from vegetable oil, vegan. It says about 1/3 of the fats and oils produced in the United States are animal fats, made into high quality biodiesel that meets the ASTM specifications for biodiesel, not vegan.
Not vegan. I love what you did with that clip. Not vegan. Not vegan. Oh, that was awesome. Oh my god.
And what I mean, it's not all biodiesel, but the point of it is that there's a good percentage of the fats that are produced out of animals that are actually used in biodiesels, and it is considered a biodiesel. So if you buy something that says biodiesel and you're a vegan, you need to read the labels, because it may not be what you think it is.
It might not be what you think it is. Exactly right. All right, let's talk about our next one. Here we go.
So it works out to be 10 to 20% net savings on fuel.
Yeah.
We're averaging 20% fuel economy improvement. A money back guarantee, at least 10% fuel economy improvement.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's ignorant, I know, because I don't have time to save millions of dollars potentially, but say, yeah, I don't have time.
All right. So basically, what we're asking them to do is have a driver put in the date, whatever the idea is on the truck, the odometer, and the fuel. Those are it. That's it right there. Now, do you want to measure DEF as well? We can do that. It's optional. A money back guarantee, at least 10% fuel economy improvement.
That is an impactful thing. That is
There's 30 seconds that'll change your company right there.
right. Oh man, and we're getting these case studies time and time again, Michael, as you know. We have 17 engines with 26.73% mile per gallon gain. That is a gain.
Right. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, the 10% savings on your money back is a sucker bet, because we're going to win it every time. And that should inspire you to actually take that bet, because it's going to work. It does work.
Exactly.
I tried to set that one up as if you were trying to sell me and I was objecting, because the only objection is an ignorant objection. Yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to save millions of dollars. Sorry.
Absolutely. No, it's a game changer. And we love rolling this out with fleets because it reduces emissions at combustion. It reduces your diesel exhaust fluid. It reduces your fuel consumption. And so it's cleaner, greener, and it does all these things. It removes carbon. It lubricates the engine. It's 6-in-1. People are like, I can't believe it. I don't want to believe it. I can't believe it. And we said, fuck, okay, we have a money back guarantee. So take us up on it.
Yeah, amen. And you know that I was good. It was either this route or I was going to talk about, you know, your lubricious personality. So I went this way.
I do not have a lubricious personality.
But just that whole segment of us talking about what the heck that word means was hysterical because we're just a couple of goofs, like duh. But yeah, I mean, and that's the point. You need to understand what this stuff does because it is the secret sauce is 6 different things inside of this product, and they're all good. It's not like the forward pass when, you know, Woody Hayes said only 3 things can happen and only one of them's good. Right? This is all good.
Absolutely. All right. So we're doing a bonus track.
We had to. I had to put a bonus track in. Absolutely.
All right. So here's our bonus track. You guys that hung around, here you go.
So there's a wealthy businessman and then there's a farmer. This wealthy businessman decided he really wanted to get one of those really fancy 5-foot wide kites with the straps on the sides and the long tails. So he goes out to this field in rural Oklahoma. He's flying it around. Okay. But as kites often do, it started diving to the ground and he couldn't change the direction. So it crashed into the farmer's field.
Okay.
So he didn't see anybody around. So he opens the gate and walks onto the farm. And the farmer comes out and he says, "Is there something I can help you with?" And the rich businessman said, "Well, you know, I went out and bought this really fancy kite. I wanted one, and you know, it's to the nines, and I've really wanted it for a long time." He goes, "Well, that's really nice. I kind of like that kite. I might want to have that." He said, "And really, technically, since you're trespassing and it's on my land, I could take it and we could go to small claims court or something. But," he said, "I actually have a farm rental surcharge." So you've heard of fuel surcharges, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I've got a farm rental surcharge and it's only $200. So you spent $500 on it? He said, "Yeah, I'll just charge you $200 and you can have it." He said, "Well, that doesn't seem really that fair." The farmer said, "Well, then, okay, I've got another option. It's a challenge. It's a rear end kicking contest." Okay. Said the way it works, we'll each take a turn kicking the other one in the rear end until somebody says uncle. And the guy, he said, "Okay." He said, "If you win, then you get to have your kite and go on your way." I said, "Okay, I'll take up the challenge. I'm going to do that. It's a bet." Okay. So he said, farmer says, "I go first." So he runs back and he's been used to kicking cow chips out of the way. And he's got some pretty good strength. So he runs full speed, kicks the businessman in the rear end. Okay. So the businessman, "Oh God, that hurts so much. Oh, I didn't realize that was going to be so bad. This is awful. That's the worst." He goes, "I need to catch my breath. I got to catch my breath." He said, farmer said, "Take your time. It's okay. Take your time." So the businessman says, "Okay, now it's my turn." And the farmer says, "You can have your kite."
Oh man.
I love
that joke off of a Johnny Carson show.
I knew I recognized it from somewhere. That is a great joke.
I added a little bit of twist to it with the surcharge thing, but ultimately it was oh man, it was on Johnny Carson and it had like 20 million views or something, so I had to check it out.
Yeah, no, that's a tremendous. Hey, anybody out there, feel free to use that over the holidays with your family and friends. That's what that's there for. Our gift to you. We like to be giving back, right? So you can impress your family and friends with your humorous nature.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Michael, it's been a whole lot of fun recording all these episodes.
Amen. Amen. I'm looking forward to another year, man.
Absolutely. We're just getting started. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you all for giving and donating, getting involved in a sponsorship. You will literally change somebody's life, not only that family, but the community. It's incredible. So thank you for doing that. And from my family to yours, everybody out there, you too, Michael, and your family, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.